I am the local chapter leader of Strong Towns Las Vegas. We are an urban planning organization fighting for alternatives for land use and transportation. I got to tell you, this is perhaps the best bill that's been conducted by the legislature. We like to thank the sponsor and many others that have brought this bill over. The cost of private vehicles is too high for a lot of people. It is strongly overpriced. Car infrastructure has its benefits, but the public costs and maintenance is very, very high. And we know that there's a lot of issues sustaining this policy. The benefits of transit is that it has a larger capacity, a higher volume to move large amounts of people in a very short period of time. Urban planning is the top issue living in the Las Vegas Valley. And yet people defend the car-dependent lifestyle, yet they fail to realize Las Vegas is the 6th densest urban area in the country. Why? Because I take two of my hands and I touch two houses. Not to mention these policies that are very car-dependent, a result of our road design, which I call STRODs, arterials. It's conducted by codes and regulations along with parking requirements. So the policies is not favorable to transit in addition to our land use policies. This has obviously created an unfavorable environment. Now, I do believe transit is going to help, commuter rail, light rail, bus rapid transit. However, I'm concerned that in the long term, the costs will be higher than expected. We should learn from Europe and East Asia how they build these systems at a smaller fraction of the costs. One system that we do support, an idea that San Jose is implementing, is personal rapid transit. Okay, it costs far less and it's pretty much you can get from A to E without stopping in between. We also hope that federal lands, as outward expansion is continued, it's going to follow transit-oriented development, because we know that if you're doing the infill, the outward development have to work together. So we have to make sure that we plan for mass transit and we build the kinds of environments, as you can see here, this 5-story multi-use building that's attractive to pedestrians and transit-oriented development. And no, we're not against car. I believe people should drive fast. We get a lot of heat, a lot of criticism. Thank you so much. Great pleasure.
Thank you very much for your testimony.
Hello, everybody up there. I hope you all are having a good day. My name is John Carlo. I am calling on behalf of the Strong Towns, and I want to ditto Cyrus. And I would advise the legislators actually listen to the young man. He actually had some really good things to say. He says, the number one bill that this legislator has. So let's think about the green aspects and the fuel industry that we're trying to combat. And Carson City, we know, has higher gas prices than Las Vegas. And so green renewable energy, alternative sources is good. And I'm just wondering why we don't have it already. I've been privileged to be able to go to Paris and ride the Paris Metro, which was built in the 1900s. And I've rode different subways, which I'm going to say we should do subways for the common people and for the tourists. But let's think about the common people that live on the outskirts, on the east side. Traveling underground would be a very good solution in the summertime, because I see there's RTC bus stops. They don't even have shade out there for those people that barely have, bus fare money. We don't even have shade for those people. And also let us consider the 130 people that just died because of the poor city planning in Clark County. As of April the 30th of this year, there's been 130 people died on the roads in Clark County. So yes, the mass people mover, it's a good thing. We actually would support you guys on this. This is something we can come together and talk about. So anyways, I did owe my friend up there and congratulate him for doing a good job. So please, you guys have a good day, and thank you guys for listening. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Aaron Harris. I'm a volunteer with the Sierra Club, but I'm also a knowledge worker, and I want to testify in strong support of this bill. The truth is, I don't know how else to put it, but places that have democratized access to rail just absolutely economically dominate the places that don't. As has been mentioned, billions of economic development are spurred by investments in rail systems that allow people to get where they need to go fast, comfortably, and sustainably. There are, a lot of people talk about the cost, but the truth is that you ask any place that has built rail, and none of them regret the cost, but they do regret one major thing, and that is they regret not building it sooner and building it bigger and building it faster. So I think this is a great opportunity for us as a state to really to invest in our economy, to reduce our liability when it comes to continuing to widen our roads and other infrastructure when there are alternatives that will save us money in the long term, as well as will last hundreds of years rather than tens of years. And there's also the element that places that have rail are able to reduce their parking requirements, which allows us to get better land value out of the spaces that we are building, and allows us to build a denser while still providing the same great access that people expect to have when visiting our state, as well as traveling around their neighborhoods. So for these reasons and many of the reasons that have been brought up before, I strongly urge you to vote in favor of this bill. Thank you.
Katrin Ivanov, IVAN of Frank. I'm in support of this bill, mainly because my son thinks that's a great idea and he's pretty smart. And also I want to ditto what Cyrus said. Thank you, and everybody that is in support, actually. I'm just very confused. Why is this bill in this committee? But that's the point. Thank you.
I am the local team leader of Strong Towns Las Vegas. Our organization is heavily committed to mass transit. We are also committed to more pedestrian and bicycle-friendly areas. This bill hopes to increase transit funding. It's very important because it provides alternative methods to get around besides a car. It can help reduce commute times, reduce personal and public transportation expenses, improve the environment, improve social connectivity. Like I said, the bus rapid transit system that's being planned about 2 or 3 really does help. It's currently under construction, although I do believe we can do better than bus and light rail, that's personal rapid transit, but that's for another day. So we urge you all to please support this, and we will also echo all the previous comments. And not to mention, I almost forgot, let's make sure that street design and land use also play a significant role. And I myself, I would like to use the buses as well because, I don't want to pay like $30, $40 for parking on the strip. Thank you so much. Yield my time.
And thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Minjia Yan, MINJIAYAN, and I'm a member of RTC Track Committee. I'm here to support AB 28, and because I'm seeing this bill is not just about transportation, it is actually a critical step towards addressing Southern Nevada's affordable housing crisis, promoting low-cost public transit options that connect people to jobs, education, healthcare, and opportunity. Housing and transit are 2 sides of the same coin. Our affordable housing crisis is inseparable from our transportation challenges. By funding reliable, expanded transit, this bill enables equitable transit-oriented development, reduces sprawl, lowers housing costs by cutting residents' transportation expenses, and creates walkable neighborhoods. Every dollar invested in public transit emphasizes housing affordability. For low and middle-income families, transportation is the second largest household expense after rent. Where you live determines how easy or difficult it is to get to important places like your job, your children's school, hospital, or the grocery store, which in turn determines how much money you must spend on transportation. This concept is known as location affordability. The true cost of housing is the cost of housing plus cost of transportation. For households in car-dependent neighborhoods, transportation costs can compress as much as 25% of income compared to just 9% for households in more walkable transit-rich neighborhoods. Without reliable transit, families are forced to spend 25 to 30% of their income on car payments, gas, maintenance, and insurance, leaving less for housing. By expanding affordable, frequent transit service, this bill reduces reduces the need for car ownership and lowers the true cost of living. Meanwhile, developers are more likely to include affordable units in projects near transit when service is frequent and reliable. Investing in public transit also creates jobs in construction for both transit and housing and supports local businesses by connecting workers and consumers to commercial corridors. Affordable housing cannot exist without affordable transportation. So I urge you to pass this bill and let voters decide how to invest in their community. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.